Good morning, students. I greet you all and welcome you for this online edition. So, we saw the first lesson, the two gentlemen of Verona. The next we saw the castle, the poem. Now, we are going to see the supplementary lesson in Unit 1. God sees the truth but waits, by Leo Tolstoy, and the characters here is Ivan Dishmit Aksinov, it's the name of a person, and Marker Semnoy. So, these two names are being given, Aksinov and Marker. So, this lesson we are going to see truth always, God sees the truth. So, truth it may take time. Sometimes truth is being seen by God, but waits. Certain times we have to wait for certain things. So, here also we should see this. So, this story is about a young man. He was a very good businessman and he had a family. So, we are going to see this. So, in this town of Vladimir is a very famous place in Russia. So, already I told you the author of the lesson he used to write the names of the places which in his hometown. Was a merchant named Ivan Dishmit Aksinov. He had two shops and a house of his own. He was a rich man there in Vladimir. So, he was doing his business and he was a rich man. Aksinov was a handsome man. So, this paragraph talks about the appearance of Aksinov. So, when he was fond of singing, when quite a young man he had been a drunkard. So, after that married life he left his drinking life. One summer, one early morning in a summer, Aksinov was going to the Nizhny Fair. Nizhny Fair is a very important place. It's a marketplace where all the people they join together and they sell the products. So, here also we saw this, say this. So, this man Aksinov he starts as he bade goodbye to his family. He has his wife and he leaves the house. So, while leaving, his wife came to him and told him that last night I had a dream. I was having a dream. So, it was a bad dream. So, go wait for some time and go on the next day. So, Aksinov laughed and said, "You are afraid. So, when I go to the fair, what happened? You think that I'll go and drink there and make merry, so you are trying to stop me. But I have to go." So, he started. Then he made his way across the landlord of the inn. So, he went and on the way, on one night he is staying there in this inn. Inn is a hotel or a place where you stay. We lived in the cottage, paid his bill and continued. So, what happened after the journey? Saying that he started his journey. Well, when he had gone about 25 miles, so he and his friends, one of his friend was also staying there that night. So, after that the morning what happened? Early morning he started his journey. So, when he had reached 25 miles away from the hotel, he heard he was stopped by the soldiers and the inn and he stopped in the pouch. Suddenly a riot drew up with ringing bells and the officers lighted. So, two soldiers they came and stopped him and he was surprised to see the soldiers because he is going on a business to the fair and he is been stopped by the two people, two soldiers. He came to Aksinov and began to question him. So, he was not aware of that. But these two, the soldiers, they came. "Won't you have some tea with me?" So, Aksinov was not very much serious about this matter. Why this soldiers are coming? "Where did you spend last night?" So, the police started to inquire the soldiers. So, "Where did you stay last night? Did you see the other merchant in this morning?" So, he was staying with another person I told you, this friend. "Did you see him in this morning? Why did you leave the inn before dawn?" So, early morning itself he started his journey. So, why did he leave? Aksinov wondered why he was asked all this question, but he described all what had happened and then added, why do you cross question me? So he was not aware what had happened. So suspiciously they are asking, so why are you crossing me? Am I a thief or a robber? I am traveling on business of my own. Then the official calling the soldiers, I am a police officer of the district. So I am a police officer, I have to know some reason for why you are being stopped. I questioned and became because the merchant of whom you spent last night has been found is with his throat. So last night you were staying with your friend. So when we saw him morning, his throat has been cut and he is dead now. He is dead, he is no more. So we don't know who. You are the only person who was staying with him that night. So we are suspecting you, and there is no other person. They entered the home. The soldiers of the police abstract Ashino. So he was being say, let me search your bag. And the police officer ordered the soldiers, and they went and searched the bag. They found that inside his bag, luggage, was a knife. Whose knife is this? The policeman asked. So he was not aware what has been happening, but he asked. So Ashino looked on, seeing a blood stain. The knife was blood stained. Taking his bag, he was frightened. Now only he got frightened. What happened? So why I have been stopped now? So when they opened the bag, they see the knife. How is this that there is blood? The knife. So he is asking the policeman. The policeman is asking Ashino. Ashino tried to answer but could not utter a word. He was shocked and he was not able to answer because he was not aware that the knife will be there. So somebody has done that and they have put the knife in his bag. Ashino wondered as he was asked this question. So Ashino showed and he started to promise that I have not done anything. It is not my thing. I have not done any harm to him. But the policeman did not hear him. And also that no money has been 8,000 rubles. Rubles is the rupees which they use in his own. And that is the knife was that. So you have also robbed money from him. So he was been now arrested. So what was the dream which his wife dreamt was? So I see a dream that you are becoming very old. All your beard and your hair, everything is being turned into white. You are looking very old. So so that is the thing she told him. But he did not listen to his wife, and he came on a journey, and he was now caught, and he was put in jail. The policeman ordered, and the soldiers. So he was being put a bond in his hand, and he was arrested, and now he is in the police station, and he was being he is in the jail now. Ashino crossed himself and wept. His money and goods was taken from him. So what are the goods he took for the fair to sell? Everything was being seized and taken away by the police. So the merchant and the other inhabitants, his wife was in despair. So this message goes to his wife that Ashino was being arrested. So she was despaired, she was confused, she don't know what to do. So what happened is her children were very quite small. One of them was the baby within his breast. So all this, then how my husband is being arrested? So he went to the jail and he had an opportunity to talk. She asked the permission of the jailer and he goes and talks to him, and when she sees her husband inside the bar, she started to cry, and the Ashino also started to cry seeing his wife and his small children. So what happened while he was talking to his wife? The wife also started to suspect him. If you have taken that money, why don't you accept it and get yourself released? But he was more. When his wife asked this question, He was moved by it to see that his wife was also suspecting him. And when they were gone, so after that the warden came and they asked his wife and children to leave. Then when they were gone, XII recalled what is XII wrote, no more petition. So after that he did not ask the government or the jail to release him, because the wife itself is suspecting him. So he was very much moved. So then what happened? Now he is in the prison, doing some job there. In prison, learned to make some boots there. So shoes he was making some, and earned some little money which he brought. So when he was sent to Siberia, where in a place, and he was there. Usually the prisoners will be moved to another cell. So he was there, gone to Siberia, and he was staying there. And after making some shoes and other thing, what happened? He earned some money. And on Sunday in the prison, so in Sundays with that little money, he brought some books, the lives of the saint, and he started to learn. And every Sunday there was a church inside the prison. He used to go to the church and sing there, and he used to join them. The prison authorities liked XII for his meekness. So the prisoners, they thought that this man is entirely different to other prisoner. So what happened? They were meekness, and his fellow prisoner respected him. Not only the jailer, but also the prisoner, those who are living who are staying with XII also. And as he was growing old, what happened? You can see the picture here. Some people, they called him as grandfather, and some prisoners, those who are with him, he called them as jail. When they wanted to petition to the prisoner authority about anything, they will go to XII. So when there is any problem for the prisoners, they used to go through. He was like a spokesman. So any quarrel and all other things. No news received XII from his home. After that, he did not receive any news from his wife and children. He was alone now. So they did not receive anything. One day a fresh gang, so one day morning what happened? A fresh convicts, those who do mistakes, they came and they were brought to the prison. In the evening, the old prisoner collected round and they were living there. So XII, what happened? He was asking, they were talking with the newcomers, the convicts, those who came to, he was asking. One of the new convicts was a tall, strong man. So he met a man at the age of 60 with a closely cropped grey beard, and telling to others what they had arrested for. And they were telling what he was arrested. Well, friends, he said, I only took an horse. So one of them were complaining that I did only this mistake, so for this and all they are arresting me. And finally what happened? The man, about 60 years, he was talking to this XII. He told that from Valdemar. So from Valdemar, when he heard this, XII, when he heard this place where he was living, it was his hometown. So my family are in the town. My name is Marker. So introducing, I am also a person who lived in Valdemar. So this first XII also was living there. From there only he had 2 shops and a own house. Then only he left from there for his business. So when he heard the word, XII raised his head and they said, tell me, Shemnoik, do you know anything of the merchant XII of Valdemar? So he asked him, do you know that XII, do you know XII from Valdemar? Know them? Of course I do. So this person says that, yes, I know them. Yeah, of course. The XII are rich, and though the father is in Siberia, so not doing any mistakes, he was being arrested, and he was telling all these things. And he found out that, what sins? Asked Makar. But Ashino said only, well. Yeah, he did not tell anything. So why, for what he was being arrested, I don't know. So the days are going on like that. When Marcus heard this, he looked at Ashino, slapped his own knees. So he is telling that I was the person, Ashino, who went and stayed there in this. While I was going to the thing, I stayed with my another person, and he was being murdered. And only for that, and when they checked the bag, the knife was there, so I was brought to the jail and I was being arrested. So when he heard this, that Marker came to know that he is Ashino. So what happened? And it's well in doing. So do you know anything about his family? No, we don't know anything about his family. So he is telling that, and going on. The fortnight passed in the way of Ashino could not sleep that. So he know the person who was the real, and he says that I was the person who killed him. I came there and I stole the money and I killed him. At that time some person were entering the room. So what I did is I put the knife into a bag which was near. I came to the next room. I came there to kill you also, but what happened? When I heard the sound, I put the knife and I left that place. So till that only I know. So I was the person who killed this. So Markel was now telling the action of that I was the person. So now you don't know what to do now. So next day the convicts were led out to work. So next day the convicts, they were asked to go to the work. The cell was open and they are going. So on the thing he was, while Ashino was there, he found that there was a sound and the mud was falling there from the wall. And what happened? He was keenly noticing it, and he was found that the marker was making a tunnel to escape. Escape. At last the governor turned. So this news went to the governor that in the prison people are making way. And Ashino was also there. So Ashino, to whom he knew to be a just man. So you are knowing about Ashino. So what happened? They went and asked Ashino, do you know anything about this? So what happened? He did not relay anything. You are the truthful old man. Tell me before God, who dug this? Or who made a tunnel to this to enter into that? Marker stood as if. So he was the marker, was the person who made this tunnel. So he was standing and he was staring at him whether when he was being caught. Yeah, you cannot do anything. Well, old man, repeated the governor, tell me the truth. You have been digging under the wall. Ashino glanced at marker. So he looked at marker and but he did not say anything. However, so what happened? The governor went away. So now he escaped. The marker escaped from this, and marker was silent. So what happened is he escaped from this type. Marker bent close over Ashino and whispered, Ivan Dixie, forgive me. So what happened? This marker now he changed his mind. So you have to confess yourself. When you do anything, when you do any mistake, what I have to do, you should not cover it. Yeah, when you accept, you should accept it. So what happened? Marker now you know that unwantedly Ashino is being arrested and is in the jail. Instead of me, he is being in the jail. So what happened? He went to near his ears, Ashino's ears, and he whispered, what for? Asked Ashino. Why are you asking forgiveness from me? It was I who killed the merchant. So he confesses. Confession is very important. Yeah, prayer is very important for a person. When you do any mistake, when you know that what you are doing is wrong, you have to confess. You have to say God. Or if you are doing anything wrong is being done in your family without your unknowingness of your family or members, from my parents, you have to relieve the truth and confess. You cannot hide the untruthfulness for a long time. Lies cannot live for a very long time. So what happened? So here also you see that. So what happened? He confesses. So your family also. So confession is very important. மன்னிப்புன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, நம்ம ஏதாவது தவறு பண்ணிட்டோம்னா இந்த தவறை மன்னிப்பு கேட்கறதுல எந்த விதமான தவறும் கிடையாது. ஏன்னா மன்னிப்பு தான் ஒரு மனிதனை மாற்றும். இவன் கூட he was having the secret. மாக்க என்ன நினச்சா யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. So he thought that nobody will know. Yeah, nobody saw me. But in that place somebody is there. Instead of he to be punished, somebody is being punished. So but here he says, yeah, I meant to kill him. So I meant to kill you too. சொல்கிறான் இல்லையா, நான் உன்னையே தான் கொலை பண்ணுறது நினச்சேன். But I heard a noise outside. So I hid the knife in your bag and escaped out of the window. See the clear picture what Makar did. He is confessing to Akshino. He said that I came to that room, I stole from your friend, and next thing is I came to your room also to take the money and to kill you. But what happened? God saved you. Yeah, there was a noise. Akshino was silent and did not know what to say. So now he came to know about the real person who did this mistake. So slide off the bed slaves and they knelt upon the ground. Heaven Sixer said him, forgive me. So for the love of God. So what happened? He is also telling that forgive me. I will confess that it was I who killed the merchant. So he bent down and he confesses. I told you, Makar. It is easy for you to talk. So what happened? Now you go and inform the police and tell them that I will also tell that I only killed him. So but that is not possible and it is not good also, because what all I spent in this jail will not be recovered. I don't know what happened to my wife and my children. Everything is being lost now. So what will I do if I release also? I don't know where to go and stay. So I don't know where it is and where these people are staying, and my wife is alive or dead. Everything I don't know anything. So whatever, it is not easy to, it is easy to talk for you, actually no. But what I suffered for this 26 years, nobody can give. My wife is dead and my children have forgotten me. They don't know my face. I came here very young and my children were very young children, small children. They will not recognize me. Marcusson did not rise but bent his teeth, bed on his floor. Ivan Dixie, forgive me, he cried. Again he cried when they flopped at me. So actually what I had hearing this, then and he actually also was crying, he too sobbing and weep. God will forgive you. So he gives a solution for this. I have also forgiven you, but God will also forgive you for what you have done. So only man forgiveness is not important. Also God has to forgive him. God will said he, maybe I am 100 times worse than you. So he also confesses and what happened. So next day, in spite of actually no, the jailer comes in and now the period of his thing is over. So he has completed his punishment period, actually no. So he is going to send out. So Makar Sinus confessed his guilt. So what happened? He confessed and he went and asked. The next day he is going to be, actually is going to be released from the jail. But when the order from the release came, Akshino was already dead. So Akshino, what happened? He was dead now, he is not alive. So this story tells that he was able to know the person who he killed. So the story tells us that God sees everything. We cannot hide ourselves from God. He sees the truth and one day the truth will come. Yeah, the truth will not get. So this lesson, we saw that the truth, so that God sees the truth, but we see how long he waited, but it is a very long time for Akshino to wait. But he was when he heard this, there is nobody there to go out, so he did. Thank you, students, for being with me in this story, and be safe and be happy in this days. Thank you, students.